On today's Nerd It Yourself, we will be making some awesome galaxy print shoes. Okay, let's get started. You will need acrylic paint, fabric paint, scissors, masking tape, sponges cut into squares, paint palette, a cup, pencil, toothbrush, and 3 brushes, and a canvas pair of shoes. Okay, let's get started. What you're going to do is take the masking tape and tape the bottom edge of your shoe so you don't get paint on it. Pretty simple, right? I mean, I really don't have to tell you how to put masking tape on the edge of shoes, right? Now, take your latest edition of Style Watch. Woo! Rip a couple of pages out. And what you're going to do with those is crumple them up really good and stuff them inside the toe of the shoe and then underneath the tongue flap. This is going to help you keep the shoe stiff enough. This gives you extra hands to work with. Now you're ready to start painting. So what you're going to do here is grab your paint palette and all of your paints. Here I'm using a black acrylic paint that has gloss in it, so there's a tiny bit of shimmer, and a dark blue acrylic paint mixed with a light blue fabric paint. Now, take your sponge and dip it in the paint. Now, what you're going to do here is dab the paint onto the shoe. Use little dabbing motions, and if needed, smooth it out. This gives a really swoopy effect and makes it look a little bit more blended. So you're going to do that for the whole shoe. Make sure that you get the top plaques where the lace holes are, and also the tongue flap of the shoe, and look kind of stupid with the white tongue flap. Once that's completed, we're going to move on to the black paint. So here you see that I started using black paint. You're just going to do the same technique, but make sure you don't cover up all the blue paint. You really want the blue paint to peek out. Also, make sure you don't blend too much, because it'll mud up the colors and it'll look like crap. Once your shoe is completely covered with black paint, you're going to move on to other colors. Here I'm using a hot pink fabric paint, but before that I used a kind of dark purple fabric paint. So you're essentially just doing the same thing. Again, make sure you don't blend too much, because the colors will get muddy. And also, don't miss the tongue flap or the lace placket. Okay, here you're gonna see I'm adding more blue. I just thought a little bit more blue would look awesome. Okay, since you're using all those colors, you're probably gonna cover up a little bit of that blue color. So, you know, if you feel like you need a certain color in there and there's just not enough of it, hey, go ahead and add it again on the top layer. And now you're really starting to see the galaxy effect going on here. It looks really, really cool after it's done. Okay, now since the shoe's covered in paint, what you're going to do is take a stiff paintbrush and go in and fill any white spots, especially where the stitches are and around the edges. You really want to fill those in. If you have to, dab the brush on the stitching. This will help get into any of those holes where the paint can't reach if you just stroke it on. So yeah, make like stabbing motions, small ones, and it'll fill in those white spots. After you're done filling in all the white areas with paint, you're going to take some white fabric paint and grab your pencil, and you're going to start making some stars. Okay, now take that paint and just dot it all around your shoe. Get creative. I mean, you can put constellations on there if you want to. These are going to be your shoes. Make them how you want it. After you're done using your pencil, you're going to take a toothbrush. I'm using Snoopy, and you're going to dip it in white fabric paint and use your thumb to flick it onto the shoe. This creates the look that there's billions and billions of stars on your shoe. I mean, even though you had the different colors of paint on there, I mean, it really wouldn't be a galaxy shoe without, you know, the stars, right? So use different colors. I used white, a little bit of red and pink, and I also used some neon yellowish green paint. It gave it a really cool look. If you get big splotches of paint on there, don't worry about it. It just makes it look cooler. You're Jackson Pollock. So, you know, leave the splatters on there. Once you're done with your toothbrush, and you have as many stars as you want, we're going to start making our planets. Can't have a galaxy shoe without planets. So, here I'm using orange paint. All you're going to do is paint a circle. I mean, it don't even have to be a perfect circle. But you can layer paint. So here I'm using an orange. Later on, you're going to see I'll be using neonish yellow color. Yeah, you're just going to swirl it on there, and it makes this really cool effect. I mean, planets just aren't one color. That would be boring. So be sure to use as many colors as you want. Don't use too many though, because again, it'll look muddy and stuff. So yeah, and later on I'm going to show you a really cool technique to get some texture. Okay, so here I'm starting on the toe of the shoe. I'm using a red color for this planet. Remember to make them as big as you want and make as many as you want. Next you're going to see me using this yellow color again, and I'm just kind of swirling it in there. And then what you can do to create texture is take the end of your paintbrush or something with a point on it and kind of scrape the top of the shoe or where the paint is, and that's going to create a lot of texture. And even though you think there's going to be lots of layers of paint, it's going to take forever to dry, trust me, this paint dries fast. So put as many layers as you want on it. Now we're going to start on the third and final planet for my shoe. This is going to be a bigger planet, and once you wear them, it's going to be on the outside so people can see it. I'm using a green, and make sure that you put enough paint on there where the shoe's not showing through. Another technique you can use to create texture, I didn't film it unfortunately because the camera ran out of battery. What you're going to do is take that stabbing motion again with your paintbrush. Make sure you load some paint on there and just dab it or stab it on there. It's going to create a really cool texturized look. Here I'm using the blue paint to add some more color. I also use a hot pink paint that we used earlier on the shoe. It's really going to create texture. Now once you're done painting your planets, all you have to do is sit there. Be sure to let it dry for at least an hour. Go rock those shoes, you worked hard on it. That's it for Nerd It Yourself. Be sure to tune in next time. Kouki here, and I am out.